Well, welcome back everyone. Today we will be finishing up the beginning saga of the webcomic, because after this series will start to get more narratively driven. So make sure to sub if you want to catch those videos when they come out, and like the video if you enjoy. Now let's begin. We begin with Bang showing Saitama and Genos his martial arts, trying to recruit them basically. Saitama is not interested because he finds it boring, and Genos just wants raw destructive power. This upsets one of Bang's disciples, Tronco, who then tries to attack them, getting shut down immediately. As Bang tells him that Saitama is much stronger than him, they get interrupted by a Hero Association agent telling them all S-Class are being called to the main base for the association, so they all end up going. They get there and are greeted by Atomic Samurai and a frustrated Tatsumaki because a B-Class is there. Atomic even slaps away Saitama's hand because he says he only greets the strong, and I'm looking at him like, okay buddy. We get introduced to all the S-Class heroes except for two, being Metal Knight not being there, and rank number 1, Blast. One of the higher-ups in the association begins to explain that the fortune teller we saw at the end of the last review, Lady Shibabawa, is dead because she choked on a cough drop while in the middle of making a prediction. As she was dying, she wrote down on a piece of paper that the Earth is in trouble, and they know whatever is coming will come at some time in the next 6 months. As they are finishing up the discussion, the building gets attacked. It's being attacked by Sky King, but him and his men are quickly killed by an alien named Melzergard, and a giant alien spaceship hovers above a city and proceeds to level it. We get introduced to Yain, who is Atomic Samurai's disciple and rank 2 of the A-Class, who survived the bombardment by the ship with not that much damage apparently. Impressive. He then dodges one of Melzergard's attacks and begins to fight him. Meanwhile, everyone is freaking out inside the Hero Association building, figuring out what to do, but Saitama is already outside, checking what's going on, and kicking back shells that it is firing at him. Yain nearly dies and gets his arm taken off by not knowing what to do, but Melzergard decides to split apart to cover more ground and gets stopped by Atomic Samurai. So along with him, Bang, Metalbat, and Puri will fight Melzergard. The other heroes talk about what they can do, but Genos ends up not really caring since Saitama is already on the ship. He keeps destroying everything on the ship and quickly kills any enemies he comes up against. So another alien that is in charge, Jürgenschub, starts to panic, trying to explain what's happening to their leader, Lord Boros. Yain tries to explain to the S-Class that they can't beat this thing normally, but they basically say that this is all they can do, while Melzergard is getting pissed off because he is having a hard time with them, and the other alien is nagging him to get back to the ship. While fighting one of the heads, Metalbat realizes that they have a marble that they regenerate from, and proceeds to smash it and tells the others about this thing's new weakness. The aliens try to lead Saitama out of the ship, but he just trolls them by doing the opposite of what they tell him, and gets into the main control room. Jürgenschub tries to throw rubble at him with his psychic powers, but that does nothing to him, and is quickly killed by him. Their leader then introduces himself as Boros and tells Saitama about a prophecy, that he was undefeated through the universe, and he started to get bored, but then a fortune teller told him that far away on another planet that there was a warrior that could give him the fight he was looking for. And now, looking at Saitama, he knows that he is the warrior that was prophesied. And he quickly gets punched, only breaking his armor and releasing his true power. The ship finally fires its weapons, but they are promptly stopped by Tatsumaki, who even turns them around and fires them back at them. The heroes on the ground manage to fight Melzergard down to having 1 marble as well. Tank Top Master tries to damage the ship by throwing huge chunks of buildings at it, but he is quickly outshined by Tatsumaki throwing much more at it than he ever could, acknowledging that he can't compare to her. Since it seems like the situation is being handled pretty well at this point, some of the other heroes leave, like Drive Knight. But as he leaves, he tells Genos that Metal Knight is his enemy. We cut back to the heroes fighting Melzergard, with Bang getting flung across the battlefield. Starting to get overconfident, he declares he is killing Atomic next, but is then surprised Bang got back up. And while he was distracted, Atomic slices him into bits. Bang then figures out where the last marble is, and they win the fight. Now just waiting for Tatsumaki to bring down the ship. Saitama and Boros keep on fighting on the ship, with Boros thinking he has the upper hand, so he starts monologuing.
He starts like this prepared speech about how feeble I am compared to him, how inevitable my defeat is, how the world will soon be his, yammering.
Which Saitama cuts him off, telling him to shut up and to get on with it.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it!
Which infuriates Boros, making him transform into his meteoric burst form. But even then, he is still getting dominated by Saitama and decides to do his final attack to wipe him out. Saitama responds in kind, performing his serious series, Serious Punch, stopping the blast and taking down the ship as well. Boros, in his last moments, tells him that he was glad he could have a fight where he used everything, but he is disappointed because Saitama did not have the same experience. He could tell throughout the whole fight he was never near using all of his strength. And as his last words, he declares that Saitama is just too strong. The other heroes then book it to get out of the way of the falling ship. After the ship crashes down, we see Sweet Mask arrive, wondering what the hell happened. They explain the situation, saying that they tried their best, and he just says, "Your best isn't good enough."
Y'all are trash. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Y'all are trash. Like, y'all are so trash. I want you to know that I'm talking to you, so I'm going to say your name, then I'm going to call you trash.
Metal Knight then arrives to scavenge a spaceship to discover new and advanced technologies, with Genos calling him out for showing up after the battle has ended, reflecting on what Drive Knight told him. They find some alien survivors, but Sweet Mask quickly kills them, just saying he was carrying out justice. They find Saitama breaking out of the ship, surprised he was even in there. Tatsumaki starts insulting him for ignoring her, and then attacks Genos for acting like her elder when she is older than him. Bang gets her to calm down, and we end on an epilogue that talks about how the destruction of the city was the worst tragedy in history, and that the Hero Association was rebuilt as well, much stronger and larger than before. Alright, let's get to discussing the chapter. First, let's get all the characters out of the way. The heroes we don't really get to see anything from are Pig God, he was just eating a burger. Flashy Flash, we got nothing from him. Watchdog Man, who seems to be a furry but also might have enhanced senses since no one else commented on the fart. And Zombie Man, which we also did not get much from. Oh, and Blast, who is just not there. Darkshine just seems to want peace between everyone and loves it when everyone is staring at his shiny body. We didn't get much from King, with him just saying he can't reach the ship, and it is said that he is the strongest man in the world, with everyone respecting him. Tank Top Master tried to do his own thing, but just gave up because of how outclassed he was. Child Emperor seemed to try to help, but ended up just being a spectator during this whole thing. Drive Knight was the same, with the only notable thing was him warning Genos about Metal Knight. Genos wasn't able to do much in this chunk of chapters, but it makes sense since it was mainly about all the new characters introduced. We saw Puri got a little bit stronger, taking Deep Sea King's lessons to heart. Metalbat had a decent showing, figuring out how the weakness worked with the marbles, and being willing to mess up Sweet Mask. Bang also had a good showing fighting Melzergard and showing that he isn't as fragile as some people may think. Ian had a good showing, even though he lost an arm, still being able to just survive by himself for as long as he did is impressive. Atomic had a great showing, constantly cutting Melzergard over and over again. Sweet Mask is just a dick of a character, basically saying that they should have had a flawless win against the enemy, when that was nowhere near a possibility. It is also interesting that he hasn't moved to S-Class, so no weaklings like he believes Metalbat to be, get in.
Shut the fuck up. Know your fucking place, trash.
Tatsumaki was the most impressive this arc, being able to, what seems like, easily stop the shots from the ship and reflecting them back at it. She has a temper on her, but she seems to deserve her high rank. Next up is the monster, starting with Sky King, being obliterated as fast as he showed up. Jurgenschub was not impressive here, just tossing some rubble with his telekinesis and then proceeds to die. Melzergaard had a much more impressive showing, being able to fight multiple S-class heroes at once. Seemingly invincible at the start until his marble weakness was found. He was overconfident and did not take the heroes seriously, which I see as the main reason he was ultimately destroyed. Now Boros was massively impressive this chapter, having the same backstory as Saitama, wanting a true fight so bad he trusted a fortune teller to take a trip that took 20 years to complete. Saitama even saying he was strong while fighting him, and after the fight he even said that he was the strongest person he ever fought. Props to Boros giving our protagonist Saitama the best fight so far. Saitama this chapter just showed that we still haven't seen anywhere near his true strength yet. Showing us his serious series for the first time, and after the battle, Boros saying he did not even bare his fangs in the fight. It was a good chapter, and I loved him being his funny gag self as usual. Alright, I think that's all I gotta say for now, so just make sure to subscribe if you want to keep seeing my content, and like it if you enjoyed. If you want to keep talking about these chapters, I will always be open to it in the comments. I hope to see you guys again, so I will see you guys later. Bye guys!